All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you for logging into our second Zoom show, the Queen's Craft Brigade Variety Show. I'm Robert Duffy. I'm the founder of the Queen's Craft Brigade. And, we kind of put this together as a way to still connect with the community since we can't be together. So we really thank you for spending your evening with us. We've got a lot of stuff this time around and kind of excited to tell you about it. So here's what the agenda is going to be looking like. First, we're going to be talking to Bianca of Bianca's Design Company. We'll get to know her. We'll get to know her design company. And then we're going to do a drawing demo live. So get your pen and paper ready so you could draw along with Bianca. From there, we're going to watch. Yes. From there, we're going to play a couple videos from some of the vendors, and then we're going to talk to Meghan from Astoria Mutual Aid Network. We're going to learn about their organization and what they're doing in the community. And there's still so much more after that. I'm really excited. Bench Flour Bakers made a how-to baking video for us, so you'll get to learn how to make their biscuits. So it's really amazing. We'll also post a recipe and we'll post a video, so don't worry about that. We're also going to talk to the Art for Food organization, who are doing really great work too. And then we're going to end it with talking to some of our vendors who are online already. We're going to chat with them, and we're going to open it up to whoever is online. I will stay online talking to people as long as people want to stay on, so we could kind of be a little freewheeling with that. So that's what's going on. And the chat's open, so feel free to talk to each other. You can ask questions to me. We'll keep an eye on it, and we'll have fun. So Bianca, hello.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So you've been selling at a couple of our markets, right? How many? Do you know how many? Too many to count?
Two or three, maybe more. Is it more?
Yeah, probably
okay,
like 5
so
or
more.
6.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know about your company, can you just tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so I make enamel pins and patches and stickers, and they're all LGBTQ themed. And my main thing is being really inclusive within the LGBT community. Yeah.
How long have you been doing it?
About 3 years now, since 2017. So yeah, three going on 4. Really excited about that. Yeah,
that's awesome. So when you started the company, what inspired you to kind of use identity and queer issues as the driving force of what you create?
Well, I think just me being queer and wanting to give back to my community was the driving force behind it. I think that, I don't know, that was just really important to me when I was, finding myself and like discovering who I was, and designing was always my passion. And I just felt like merging that together was, I don't know, it just made this company, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any yeah, no, I enjoy it too. I love it. Did you have any professional training? Like, did you go to school for design?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm mostly self-taught, I would say. So I only mostly self-taught. I went to community college, and it taught me the basics of design. I also do web design freelance, and that was kind of where I started before I started the shop. So I learned like the basics of that. So I took that, and I took so much time after college and just worked on my craft there, like and then I interned and I worked at a full-time job. So that's kind of like my background there before starting the shop. So I've been like doing a lot of stuff mostly for other people before the shop, came along. Now I'm like designing for myself and the community.
Yeah. So, I before I started Queen's Craft Brigade, I had sold t-shirts that were inspired by Queens. And I know there was like a lot of people would want to talk to me about their neighborhoods. When you're creating things that are so personal to someone's identity, what kind of like reactions do you get from people at markets? Do people want to talk to you, or is it a lot of introverts?
Yeah.
What kind of conversations come up when people are buying things from you that they probably didn't even know could exist, like a pin that has like their pronouns or things like that?
I love seeing the joy in people's faces when they see my merchandise. I mean, when people come to my table, they're just like, oh, and I'm just like, oh my God. It's just like, it's amazing. I mean, there's definitely introverts, but you still kind of see like the smile underneath like the surface. Cause sometimes they're just like, oh, like, what is this? Oh my God, I'm so excited. But like, they don't show it. It's just like within them. And then people do talk to me. We always talk about, it could be pronouns, it could be identities that I'm putting out that they don't see out in the world. There's just like a mixture of a lot of things, and it's really nice to like hear from other people who have like similar stories or just like really appreciate like the representation that is being put out within this within my company, within my shop.
Cool. So I thought maybe it would be fun to kind of show some of your work and talk about it too. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, cool. So let's see. So can you see the screen?
Yes, I can. Beyond gender.
So this is so this first thing you're going to show is kind of like some of your process, right? So you had this version.
Mm-hmm. This was actually the second, because it was the more refined version. Yeah. Then this one, the first one is the second.
Okay. So this one here.
The one on the right is like the first version, because I just felt like, I don't know, the lines making the words move, was like the direction I wanted to go in. Kind of like it was moving across the screen or a paper or within the pin.
Yeah. And then you kind of did a couple different designs for this, right? Like these are your final products.
Yes. Yeah. The right one is embroidered, and I felt like that would work best with embroidery. So I kind of based it on like the product itself. And then the one on the left is actually newer, and it came as a request from someone, and I thought it looked really great, and I just wanted to kind of put it out in my shop. Yeah.
What does for people who aren't like familiar with Beyond Gender, what does that mean to you?
For me, it just means that it's just like we are human, it's like it's beyond gender, it's beyond like race, it's beyond everything. Like you're just a human, and that's what matters. And so that's kind of like the message behind it. And it also, like, in addition to that, it's kind of like a play on like trans, because trans is beyond. Like it means like the definition, like one of the definitions is beyond. So I thought that was kind of cool too.
Yeah.
So it's like transgender beyond gender.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about this one here?
That one, just something that I had thought about. I mean, inclusivity is like so important to me. I mean, for like the longest time before coming out, I didn't feel, included. So this is kind of like this stems from that. Yeah. And I also want other people to feel like included, and there's other messages that I've seen too as well, like the future is non-binary and the future is female, and I just felt like this feels so much more true to me. I mean, I do feel definitely like, I definitely love those other messages, but this one just feels like this is me, you know, like this is us. I feel like the future is inclusive. Yeah.
Yeah, I also just love the visual design of that, all the colors. That is some
Yeah. Yeah, my partner said it looks kind of retro, and I was like, I dig that.
Yeah. So you, a lot of your work is thinking about a lot of sort of communities that may be not representative well in pins or things like that. And I feel like this is one of those as well, right? Can you tell us about this? This is a collaboration,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, this is a collaboration that I did with Gregor Lopez, who is deaf and queer and an ASL influencer. And we actually met at an event, and he brought up that he doesn't see a lot of representation for like deaf and queer folks. So we came up with a bunch of these designs to provide that representation, and also kind of encourage people to like learn sign language as well. So that one is really cool. I don't know if anyone can see me, but doing the yas sign is really cute. Like, so this is what I visualized, like the hand going in motion backwards, kind of, you know.
Yeah.
I love it. And there's other ones too that are really cool if anyone wants to check it out on my site.
Yeah. So this is another community. I felt that this was another great design too.
Yeah, definitely. That's yeah. Yeah, same here. Like, you know, the disabled community is also underrepresented. I wanted to provide that representation as well. And the design itself is really cool because the person is in movement still, and the arrow shows the movement and, you know, going forward. So I just feel like there's like a lot of messages within this, you know.
Yeah, it's great. So you just recently had a funded Kickstarter, which you did not expect to launch during a pandemic, but you did launch it.
Yeah.
And it was successful, right? It was funded.
It was surprisingly successful. Oh my gosh. I did not expect it at all. And bringing out these identities is really great. I mean, I'm glad that people wanted to support, you know, especially during this crazy time. I don't know. It's like, it blew my mind. And I have them here with me, and I'm actually packing some orders. I forget how many total, but I know that I have 65 orders to pack soon. So yeah.
And each order is like more than one pin, right? People bought.
Some people bought a bunch. Yeah. Some people bought one, some people bought a bunch. It's like everything in between as well. Yeah. It's really awesome.
So this like wavy rainbow is kind of in a lot of your work and a lot of your designs. When you're working in some of these smaller groups or groups that maybe the larger population don't know about, demi-romantic, for example, is it like, what is your process to make sure that you get it right? I have to imagine that like it's a very sensitive thing that you don't want to upset the people. So what is your process of like getting it right, basically?
I definitely do the research. I look up what each of these identities mean if I don't already know them. I search for the flag itself, and I also see who created it. I also created a pride glossary because I felt like having all of this kind of like archived somewhere all together would be really helpful. And I would say that they seem, I mean, from the sites that I've researched, they seem to just kind of be free to use, so I just use them. But there are some, well, actually there was one, the Progress Pride flag. I had to check the copyright for that because Daniel Quasar, who created it, has some terms. So I just followed those terms and, you know, created it from there. So I do the research, I make sure the colors are right. And then I just fit it within the shape that I created, and it, you know, becomes this pin.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right, 2 more I wanted to show that are kind of related to the project that you're going to be, well, the design that you're going to be doing live. So there's this guy.
Yeah.
Just a fun gay mountain.
Yes, rainbow mountain. Yes. Yes, it's so like, it's so minimal but colorful, and yeah, it's really cute.
I feel like it's so happy.
I love looking at it.
Yeah, it makes me so happy just looking at it.
Yeah.
And then I think this is, I think the first pin I bought from you. What was the inspiration about from this one?
They were actually all in the same series, so they were all inspired by my love for the outdoors, and also I used to go camping when I was younger, so it kind of, you know, stems from that as well. But I love hiking. I love a lot of outdoorsy stuff, and I created this because of that.
Yeah.
And
cool.
it's and that one particularly is really cool because it's kind of like a play on word, like flaming gay, and you know, a bunch of other stuff. So I love that too, like when I'm creating something that it's like kind of cheeky and like it just makes it more queer and cute. Yeah.
Awesome. So what are you gonna draw for us now?
It's gonna be a combination of the designs within the Campy Queer series. I can show you guys the end result that I have here if you want. So yeah, this is the campy illustration. This is like someone going on a hike and, you know, camping right here.
Nice. Well, why don't you get your camera ready and I'll set up. If you're playing along at home, we encourage you to post a photo of it, tag Bianca, tag us.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do it over here.
I'm gonna do it well, but
I see some people have some paper out. Nice.
Yes. Cool. Yeah, I'll set it up right now. Let's see. Oops. Did you rip a bunch of paper just now? Oh wow. Okay. Just gotta make sure this is set up correct. Okay, I think this is good. Oh, whoops.
Looks great.
Cool. Just wanna adjust this real quick because it's a little loose, I think.
I don't have any questions for you, Bianca, other than just a lot of people saying very lovely things about you during your talk.
yeah.
Does this look good, guys? I hope
Yeah.
it does. Okay, cool. I could probably put more light. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So for this particular illustration, I made like a frame. You can use a book if you have one. It kind of makes it a little easier to make the borders. I use this book right here to kind of draw along. So you could start off doing that, or you can use edge to edge, you know, if you have that preference. But I'm gonna use this book. Or actually, I'm gonna use my ruler. because I have some guides here. I'm using this Pigma Graphic One pen marker. So let's start off with the border. It's also okay if it's not like entirely straight. All right, cool. All right, we'll start off with the sun. I'm gonna put it right in the middle here. Oh wait, is it good? Okay, yeah, it is. Add some rays. Okay. Next, we can add the land. Let's see, where do I start it? You could start it like a little above the center of the page or the border if you drew one. And I kind of do like a wavy outline of the grass, land. And then the other side. Okay, hopefully this like dried a little because last time I kind of smudged it. Let's see, draw the mountain. Yeah. And another one. And the third one. All different and beautiful. Okay. Let's see. You could add the details to the mountain here. This is for the rainbow swirl. And you can add like any amount of lines that you want. Maybe like add your identity flag. I'm gonna do the rainbow. And these, I kind of like split them a little bit, or just like add this detail that kind of, it's kind of like the sun is reflecting off of it a little. And then add lines. It's kind of my like go-to detail. And this one, same thing, just slightly different detail. Cool. Now, I'm gonna use a thinner marker for the details of the campsite and the forest. I will start off with the tent.
Do you go camping a lot?
I've been wanting to, but now I don't think I can. I go more hiking than camping. Well, I have before this all happened, but I do want to go camping when this is like when things go back to normal. In the design that I did, I had lines, but you could add anything you want as a design. I had the inclusive rainbow going on here. Might add that at the end. The opening to this. And the campfire, let's see. I start off with like the bottom piece, and I kind of just add the flames on the top. It always comes out slightly different every time I do it. And the little logs underneath. They definitely don't have to be perfect because I'm like kind of messing up with perspective over here, but it's looking pretty okay. Add some detail to the logs. A little swirl on the ends. And I'm gonna add the swirls that make this a little rainbow campfire. And later on, you could like color this in and make it look cute with whatever colors you want. There we go. Now the trees. Maybe I should start with the bigger ones so that you can see the progress. Start here.
It's bigger because it's closer.
Yeah. They start off bigger for perspective. And they're closer. The further they are, the smaller they are.
So I have two questions, and one of them's easier, so I'm gonna ask you while you're drawing.
Okay, cool.
Do you have some go-to supplies? Like, this is from D, which maybe art supplies or other things you do for your pins and things like that, or maybe we'll start with art supplies.
Yeah, art supplies. I have like a ton of sketchbooks from different places. These are Pigma Micron pens, so these are like my go-to pens for sketching. So I have a bunch of them here. This is a graphic one. I always use the graphic and the Micron, like 05.
I see at least one person showing up there, Micron pen. Nice.
Yeah. An eraser, rulers, and pencil, of course. Yeah. Those are like my go-to. I mean, I don't go too intense because I'm still kind of working on this, like this is still a work in progress for me with sketching. When it comes to everything that I do with pins, that's Photoshop and Illustrator that I use. Sometimes I sketch it out beforehand, like you showed in the presentation. What else? What other tools? I think those are like the main things.
Camille also loves Micron pens, but this is not like subversive marketing for Micron pens. Everyone just yeah, maybe you should be sponsored, Bianca.
Sponsor me, yeah. I would love to be a sponsor if they'll have me. Yeah. I definitely always need more pens. I mean, they run out pretty quick if you use them a lot. Especially if you're like coloring, and sometimes when I'm practicing, I'll color with the black ink, and it just runs out eventually. So now I kind of I get Sharpies to do that job so that, I save money because these are like a slightly more expensive than getting like Sharpies.
Another question from D. What's the most memorable selling experience you've had so far? Positive, negative, or both?
Oh my gosh. That's like a tough one. Because, I mean, there has been a lot of positive. I wouldn't say I can't think of any like negative selling experiences. But I would say I can't pinpoint just one, but when I sell in person, it's so much better because you just see folks' reactions. Like at Queen's Craft Brigade, I've done DragCon, which is really cool, and people get super excited. Yeah, I don't know. Oh man, I missed the river. All right, we're gonna add the river over here. I totally forgot about this. There we go.
Yeah, you don't want the tent too close to the river in case you kind of stumble into it.
Very true, very true. Yeah. Oh yeah, so Jasenia, my partner, was just saying the parents when they purchase for their kids. It's really cute.
They ask questions.
Yeah, they ask a bunch of questions. They want to learn, you know. It's just like so nice. It's so nice when parents are really accepting and then supportive of their kids and the community.
That's great.
Yeah.
It looks like you did it, huh?
Yeah. Last thing would be the grass and maybe some details, but yeah. I just usually do like, oh, that's pretty big. Oh gosh. Small pieces of grass detail that are like basically upside down arrows with a line in the middle. I would say even though I'm like not the best at sketching, it's just so nice to sketch. Like sketching before I make a pin, just like putting the idea out there on paper is just like so helpful.
One of the comments, somebody commented that this was like meditation, which is definitely.
Yeah. Definitely, yes. I mean, this like calmed me down. I was so nervous. But yeah, this is it. This was the original, but I mean, pretty much there, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. I'm gonna go to the gallery view if anyone has paint. So I want to see if anyone has them. Oh, nice.
Did you finish yours, Yesenia?
Yeah. I took a few liberties.
Oh my god.
Just a little bit.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I'm gonna show you guys. Yesenia's. This is so great. Oh my god. She put a person sleeping in the tent.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh look, a person by the water, some fish. That's so cute.
Oh, see.
I love it.
That's so nice. Oh.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
great.
For everyone who made it, please tag us and tag
Yeah.
so we can see them.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I would love to see what y'all did.
Here's mine.
What? That's awesome.
Ruthie's over here.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Yes. You added the rainbow to the tent. Oh my gosh. It makes me want to add something to my tent. What should I don't even know. Now I'm just like overthinking it. I'm overthinking everything. I'm gonna make this swirly too. My signature. I was like considering adding a triangle, but then it would just be a bunch of triangles. Which is not bad, but yeah, here we go. I'm so glad that we did this. This is awesome. Should I take it off the screen now?
Yeah, let's see your face again. That came out great. Thanks so much.
Ooh, sorry. Okay, cool. Technical difficulties. I got it.
I think the last thing you should do before you go is show everyone your cat because the cat was there early on.
Jade!
Go.
I can't even whistle right now. He comes when I call him by whistle or Jade or like little kissies. He's very much my baby.
Nice.
It's pretty chill.
Cool. All right. Bianca, thank you so much for doing this. You're going to stick around for the end in case people have more questions, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll be here. Thank you so much for having me. This was awesome. This is a cool experience.
Yeah, I'm really glad you're able to do it and share your time with us. We'll put this segment up on YouTube and all the social media later this week. So the next thing that we're gonna do is I'm gonna play three short videos that vendors created, and then we're gonna talk to Megan from Astoria Mutual Aid Network.
Awesome.
Thanks, Bianca.
Thank you.
Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is Anna from Errant Heart. I make mixed media hand embroideries. One of the main things I do is create custom portraits for people. So these are two of my latest ones. Cute family, cute dogs, always fun. So I do those with a combination of watercolor and hand embroidery. I'm also working on some house portraits coming up, so stay tuned for that. And I've been working on expanding my treescape series, which I debuted at the Queen's Craft Brigade. I have all the styles available made to order on my Etsy, and I'm working on making some more. And you can learn your own hand embroidery through one of my classes. I've been teaching through Craft Jam. My next one is going to be this 12-stitch embroidery sampler. It's a two-part class, Sunday, May 24th and May 31st. So if you're interested in that, feel free to message me and I'll give you the details. And then for fun, I've been doing a stitch a day as part of the 100-day project. So I'm doing 100 days of stitches and practicing some new embroidery stitches that I haven't tried before. So thanks again for your support. It's such a great community and I hope you guys are all doing well. Bye!
Hi guys, I'm Julie Calderon of Misky Metal. We miss seeing your faces so much. And until we can do that again safely, our organizers have been really creative in coming up with new ways for us to stay connected with you. And we've been following suit, doing the things that we do. And I make jewelry. And so in stolen moments with a family in quarantine, I've been trying to finish up projects like getting more of this new acrylic design wired up, finishing up new patina shapes for earrings, trying to finish up, these have been supposed to be cuffs for some time now, made out of birch bark, and this out of croc skin. This is also a new design. This is a prototype of a modified 45 adapter, the proceeds of which, when it's completed, are going to go to benefit nightlife workers, many of whom have lost everything indefinitely and are dear to my heart. But most importantly, I've also been working with an organization that's working to feed Queens families who've been impacted by COVID. And so if you're so inclined and motivated, I strongly recommend you check out theconnectedchef.com/lifeline-grocery-packages. Thank you and stay safe.
Hi, I'm Alana from Stray Dog Skirts. Stray Dog Skirts are lovingly handmade from vintage fabrics. Stray Dog Skirts have elastic waists for easy sizing. I take custom orders for zipper skirts. Find me on Instagram at Stray Dog Skirts or email me at straydogvintage@gmail.com.
All right. We've got a couple other vendor videos that we'll be showing later. But right now we're going to talk to Megan. Megan, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. So I saw, can you hold up your drawing? I saw that you were making stuff with us.
I know. I'm so much more relaxed now. Thanks.
That's really good.
Thanks, Bianca.
And who's your friend in your lap over there?
I have Louie here. He's a 3-year-old teacup chihuahua. And then across the room is my 15-year-old cat, who is also here.
Awesome. Good. The family's all on the Zoom. So tell for people who don't know, tell us what the Astoria Mutual Aid Network is.
So Astoria Mutual Aid Network is a community grassroots organization that was founded by neighbors in Astoria. We just had our 2-month anniversary on May 15th. I actually see that there's some volunteers in here that I recognize. I also see that Kim from The Connected Chef is on here as well. So, hey, Kim, we're going to be speaking next week. So Astoria Mutual Aid Network, it kind of just came out of nowhere. I was on Nextdoor and on Facebook and offering like early March errands and offers to neighbors who needed help. And a bunch of other people were doing the same thing. And Miriam, who is our founder, actually reached out to me on Nextdoor and was like, hey, it seems like we're all trying to do the same thing. Do you guys want to meet up and come together? So we had a Zoom call. It was 10 of us, 10 strangers. And within like 2 days, we had a website, and Miriam and her husband Ross and Emma, their daughter, had been looking to help neighbors in the neighborhood, and they were supposed to go on spring break for Emma's school. And obviously that got canceled. So they had been plastering the neighborhood to begin with. And it's gone in the last 2 months from us having the 10 of us to us now having over 830 volunteers. Wow. And we do the things that you think of. So we do grocery runs, we do pharmacy runs, but it's been super amazing because we have so many different people on our team that do so many different things. We have an amazing tech team. Peter Valdez, who is part of the tech meetup group in Astoria, he created this dispatch system for us on Slack that we now have lent to a lot of other mutual aid networks locally, and I think in other areas as well, that allow people to call or text or email us, and we can keep track of their requests and then geolocate the nearest volunteers. So yeah, we do a lot of different things. We have a lot of different working groups. We kind of empower all of our volunteers to go after things that they feel passionate about, because there's so many different levels of things that we could be offering the community in terms of elder resources, pet care, PPE, financial assistance. Like, people are calling in and they have questions. And so we're all kind of focusing on different ways that we can help people.
That's really amazing. So if, how do like people who need the aid get in touch with you guys? Is it where you just find them, or do you have like a intake system?
So it originally started because Miriam and Ross had put the posters in the neighborhood. And when we initially met, we were like, okay, we need to translate these into all the different languages that are locally in Astoria, but also across Queens. So a lot of it was word of mouth that way, by people seeing the posters. We also, in the early days, I was reaching out to local churches and organizations trying to find out, hey, do you guys have systems in place already? You obviously have members of your community that we don't have access to. We would love to see if they need help. How can we connect? We also have a phone number and an email address. And we have our website. So people can fill out a form on our website, or if they don't feel comfortable, they can call or text us. And I do all of the social media, as well as with another partner, Emma Kate. She does the Facebook. I do a lot of the Instagram. And I'm the one that answers all of the DMs. So a lot of times too, we'll get people that will come to us through DMs, like either themselves or on behalf of someone else, that are like, hey, my mother-in-law lives in Astoria. I live in California. She needs help. How can we get help to her? And then I'll connect them to the right channels to get that help.
Yeah, that's amazing. So do you have like any personal moments that have really struck you since you've been like doing this, that in this short time?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the first immediate personal moment is like, you guys know we're in Astoria. I live 3 blocks away from Mount Sinai. Those really bad weeks, sitting at home working my full-time day job and hearing an ambulance like every 10 minutes was just like very dark. And this was such a bright moment for me to be able to focus negative energy into something positive, on top of the fact personally that I've been able to become friends with so many amazing people that I've never even met in person. And then like a moment where kind of on the grounds being involved, we had some people who had reached out to us, and it was a daughter that had reached out to us on behalf of her parents that needed help in California. That was a good example. And my husband and I actually went and drove to Queens Village and brought her family the things that they needed. And it was like, she was a college student. She was a girl in her 20s in California, terrified for her family that she couldn't be with. And that was really heartwarming for me that we could help her with that.
Yeah. And do you think that hopefully there will be an end to this one day. Do you think that the organization is going to continue as like a helping charitable organization long-term?
One of the biggest things that we're facing every day is food assistance. I think food assistance and housing assistance, like just because coronavirus will not be here forever, it's something that's going to have very long-term effects on our community. And I have a feeling that we're going to be around for a while too. And I'm sure at some capacity, once this is all over, there's still going to be those needs. And having a mutual aid network in any community, especially Queens, is a really positive thing. I don't know at what capacity, but I do see us, being around for the foreseeable future. And I would like to add, I know that in one of the vendor videos that they have been talking about the Connected Chef, all of us in Astoria are working together. We've been doing a really big fundraiser, and I think we did a town hall on Saturday, and one of the big questions that we got was, well, you're raising funds, what is that going to? And a lot of that is getting funds to people in conjunction with Kim and her team, or Queens Together, or the Astoria Food Pantry, or other organizations, because we're all in this together, just like fighting the fight to provide for our community the best that we can.
Yeah. So what are the things that you need from people right now? What are the big things or is it always the same things?
I would say obviously donations and funding to get food to people is a huge thing. We are always in need of volunteers that have cars that can drive. We're always in need of volunteers that are just ready and able to jump and assist. We had a call today that was like, we need someone with a box truck because City Harvest has 105 boxes. Does anybody have a box truck? We need to pick up the meals in 2 hours. I've been contacted on social media by people that have been like, hey, we have 50 extra meals. Can you guys get these from us in 2 hours? And we did, and we get them to people. Additionally, I would say that there's so many other things that we could be offering. When we had our town hall this weekend, we had somebody who asked, what are you doing to engage small businesses? We're doing the best that we can with the volunteers that we have, and we work through Slack. And so we empower our volunteers to go off after things that they feel passionate about. So I would say, if there's something that you don't see us doing, and it's something that you feel passionate about, we would love for you guys to contact us and get involved and get on one of those working groups and spearhead that. And we're here for you. And we have 800 plus volunteers to get in on the action too. So the sky is the limit, and you have support of other people, which is amazing.
Right. So, and even though you have over 800 volunteers, you will take many more.
Many more. Yeah. I mean, we're also too, like, I'm always on Instagram connecting with like the couple that has the Astoria Pug, and they're doing all the composting in Astoria. And they've been like building. And I actually met up with them to hand off some masks a few weeks ago. And I was like, hey, we have volunteers. Like, we would love to link up with you. We would love to help you. And we since have linked up and have been expanding. It's just, there's so many aspects of things in the community that we could be doing. It's endless. It's amazing. It's really exciting.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for sharing information about it. It's really amazing work you guys are doing. And it is, I'm sure, appreciated by the people you're directly impacted, but it's really meaningful to the whole community. So
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And people posted the links in chat on how they can get information. Someone posted a phone number, all sorts of things. So check it out if you want. So thank you, Meghan. The next thing we're going to be doing is showing you the video that Benchflower Bakers made. So this is one of their bakers. They're showing you how to make buttermilk biscuits. So I urge you to grab a drink, sit back and relax and watch this video. It's about 20 minutes. Like Bianca's, it's very soothing to watch someone else bake. So I really recommend that. And then when we get back, we have a couple more videos, and then we're going to talk to the Art for Food organization, and then we're going to talk to all and any QCB vendors that are on the call. So that's what it's looking like. All right, stay tuned for Benchflower.
Hi everyone, I'm Katie. I'm here with Christine from Benchflower Bakers, and today I'm going to show you how to make buttermilk biscuits, which is one of our most popular items at Benchflower Bakers, but it's also really fun and easy to make at home, so I think it should be a fun quarantine activity to try while you're at home waiting for the ability to come and see our beautiful new bakery. Biscuits are a pretty straightforward thing. They start with about 3.5 cups of flour. And when you make biscuits, what you're basically doing is layering flour and butter, and that creates all the wonderful layers and flakiness that you expect from a biscuit. And then you use buttermilk to hold it together and to add some sort of sour tanginess and complexity to the flavor. And then there's also a little bit of leavener. In this case, we're using both baking powder and baking soda to make it rise so they get fluffy. So let's get started. The process here is to start with just regular all-purpose flour, 3.5 cups. I know that there's been kind of a run on flour during quarantine, but I think most of the stores are restocked now. And if you can't find all-purpose flour, you can often try it with bread flour or other things. It might just be a little bit denser as a final product. So we're starting, like I said, with 3.5 cups of flour, and then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of sugar. To that right here, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, we are going to do 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. It's a good practice when you're baking to always use the largest sized measuring spoon that is correct for the amount that you're doing. It just gets more accurate measurements. Okay, so I'm just going to physically mix all these dry ingredients together, but I'm just going to wait for a second so I don't dirty my hands before I cut up the butter. So when you're making biscuits or pie crust, if you've ever made either of those from home or from scratch at home, you're going to start with cold butter. Ideally, you want it to be really fresh right out of your fridge or even the freezer if you have time to put it in the freezer and let it get really cold. And you're going to want to break it up into chunks. So I like to sort of start by slicing them like this. And then break them down even a little bit more. And this, I don't know if you can see this, but this is like a really soft, wonderful butter. This is from Ronnybrook Dairy, which is the company that we get all of our dairy from. It's a local New York dairy, and they make really, really wonderful products. If you buy European cultured butter at the store, it might have this same sort of really soft texture. But a sort of more traditional American style butter might be a little bit less soft. You'll get a great result either way, but just in case that looks a little different from what you're used to. So you can see I'm kind of breaking this up into like smaller pieces, and it's even smoother if you do it using this bench scraper like I started off with. And then the slickest way to do it like that. And then, so once your butter is in chunks, these are all really as you can see, they're pretty loose shapes, they're not all the same size, and that's because I'm going to keep breaking them down once they're in the dry ingredients, so it doesn't have to be perfect right away. So so I'm back here to these dry ingredients. I'm going to mix all of this in just to make sure that the leaveners and the sugar and the salt are mixed into the flour. And then I'm going to take the butter, and I like to sort of make sure that each little piece gets a little bit coated in butter, just so that you don't get any weird, all of this gets stuck together or something. So I'm just knocking them in here. And then what we're going to start to do is we want to basically start to break the butter down into the dry ingredients. So we're not trying to mix it like if you're making a cookie or a cake where you're trying to get the butter to be like, or the dry ingredients to be fully incorporated into the butter. You're trying to, it's kind of like concrete. You're looking for pieces of butter mixed into the dry ingredients. A lot of recipes will say, if you're looking at recipes for either pie crust or biscuits, they'll say pea-sized chunks of butter. And I guess a pea-sized chunk would be like that much. That's a little small, actually. I like to think of it more like a dime-sized, but not quite so flat. And then again, like different sizes are kind of okay. And it'll all come together in a minute. This looks really dry right now, and that's fine. That's how it's supposed to look. Get the rest of this butter here. And then I always do this, I'm really slow at this. This is not I'm not showing my professional baker side here because I take my sweet time when breaking my butter down. And it's also really soothing. I think we all need like soothing baking activities right now, at least I do. So take your time with it, feel the greasiness of the butter breaking down onto your hands, feel the way that the flour and the butter combine to create like a paste that sticks to your hands. It's just really nice to like feel baking in your hands instead of using a tool. This is one of the fun things about making pie crust or making buttermilk biscuits, is that it's actually even better to do it by hand in a lot of cases than it is to do it in a machine, because you get a better result. You get, you get like, if you do this in a food processor, for example, which is how a lot of people do it, the butter will break down into even smaller than pea-sized chunks, and then you lose a lot of that wonderful flakiness that we're aiming for. Okay, so you can see I'm trying to like press this into here so that it gets a little bit incorporated, but not fully incorporated. So I think I don't see any large chunks in here anymore. So that's sort of what I'm doing when I run my fingers through it. I'm like searching for large chunks of butter, but I think most of them have been pretty broken down at this point. Okay, so yeah, so at this point, what's next is you're gonna wanna add the buttermilk. So today we're using 1 cup of buttermilk, and I wanna talk a little bit about buttermilk in general and what you can do as alternatives if you, for example, if you can't find buttermilk in your grocery store, or maybe you just don't want to buy a container of buttermilk special just to make biscuits, though it makes really great pancakes too, so there's no harm in buying it. You can always use a different kind of milk, ideally like whole milk and or cream, like a half and half mixed with whole milk. I think kind of approximates the texture best. And then you can add some sort of acid, so either lemon juice or like an unflavored vinegar or something like that, and that will slightly curdle your milk, but it will also give it that tanginess, and it will give it some of the buttermilk like flavor and texture. And you can Google that, and it'll give you like good ratios. And then again, on the question of like what fat percentage, because we're using this really awesome local dairy, it's going to be a little bit thicker, I think, than most of the buttermilk you would find in stores. So just do it by feel. Don't be obsessed with matching our recipe exactly. So this is 1 cup, I think. And I'm just going to pour it right in, sort of loose. I'm going to leave a little aside just so that I don't overdo it, because like I said, it's by feel, not by measurement. I'm going to start mixing it in. So I'm basically just trying to incorporate it without like getting it all over my hands. If I just stuck my hand right in the buttermilk, that's what would have happened. But also I'm trying to mix it up while still preserving those chunks of butter that I did before. And I don't think I made it clear. The reason that we're preserving the chunks of butter is that when you cook the biscuit, those chunks of butter turn into flakiness. Whether it's a biscuit or a pie crust, what happens is you end up with layers of flour, butter, flour, butter, flour, butter, and then the butter cooks in the oven and melts, and it turns, and then the layers of flour in between turn into flakes. But if you break your butter down too much, you get something that's like less flaky and more rock-like, more like a scone, or more like I don't know, like a shortbread crust, for example. If you were making pie crust and you accidentally like overdid it, it wouldn't really feel like a flaky pie crust. It would start to feel like something else. So I'm just trying to get this off the sides. And then, yeah, so this is too dry. You can see that's pretty obvious. So I'm going to keep adding this milk that I set aside. And the goal here is that you want it to be like tacky, but not sticking to your hand. So we're trying to get for like having it all come together in a ball, but not be like wet to the touch, essentially. So I think, for example, I'm probably going to need a little bit more. So you can see I'm kind of like squeezing it together to try to see if it holds together. And you can see it's definitely not there yet. So put that in. And then I'll measure just so that you guys can see how much I end up using. I'm going to measure out a half cup. I almost certainly won't use all of that, but that's just for reference. Oh, and one thing that's good to know is that if you want to make this a flavored biscuit where you put, for example, scallions or seeds or something tasty in there, you generally want to add it at this step, like at the same time that you're adding the milk, so that it gets like incorporated evenly. Okay, so now we're starting to look like biscuits. When I squeeze it, it's still not quite holding together, so I'm going to add just a little bit more, hopefully to get there. I guess the big thing that people put in biscuits, right, is like cheddar and chives and things like that. Cheese is really nice in biscuits, but I'm really partial to a sweet. I mean, I'm just like a sweet freak, so I'm always like putting jam on them on biscuits. So ooh, sorry, my bowl popped. That's what that really loud noise was. So yeah, so I like to make a plain biscuit, so I can put jam on it without like the weirdness of like scallions and blueberry jam or whatever. So this is starting to look like dough. Ooh, sorry. Basically, you want it to hold together, but you don't want, well, my hands are dirty because I've been working this the whole time, but if you like put your hand on it, you wouldn't want dough to come up away. You want it to be, I think the word they use is like tacky, but not sticky, is generally how that's referred to. And I'm being a little neurotic right now, making sure I pick up all these little pieces, but you don't really have to be. And yeah, so now we're going to be moving on to the rolling stage. Okay, so I finished pushing this dough all together. And yeah, now you can see it's kind of, I'm able to hold it as one big thing. It's not like falling apart in my hands, but it's also not going to stick to my hands when I touch it. So that's kind of what you're aiming for. At this point, you can either chill it if you want to take a break for whatever reason, like if you want to do this the night before and then make them for breakfast the next morning, you can do that so they're fresh. But next step is to flour your counter with some bench flour, as the name would indicate, like this, so that it doesn't stick. I like to kind of make sure it's like that was like kind of a chunk so that it's even. And then you're gonna put your dough down, and if you're going to want to roll it out too. I'm going to use this cookie cutter to make them. So I'm going to try to aim for slightly shorter than my cookie cutter, which is probably like 3/4 of an inch. Obviously you don't need an actual cookie cutter to do this. You can just use a cup or even just like a freehand knife if you want to do that. Or even there's like, people just do drop biscuits where you just kind of like take a little chunk and put it down. But if you use a cookie cutter or like a cup, it just looks really nice. And I'm going to use a rolling pin to do this, but if you don't have a rolling pin, I mean, first of all, you could just pat it flat, like it doesn't have to be perfectly flat like a rolling pin would get it. Or you could just use like a bottle or something round or something like in this shape. But I have this really nice rolling pin here, so I'm just trying to do it evenly, so I like it to keep all of these little edges without losing them. Like if you like roll it out just wildly, you you lose all the nice edges. But I'm gonna use that as my guide. It's still a little tall over here, but maybe kind of the right height over there. So I'm gonna push this side out a little bit more. And this dough is like pretty easy to work with. So for example, like I kind of made this section a little too short, so I'm just gonna kind of push it back in, and it kind of like evens everything out and makes it really easy to adjust and make it the right height that you want, so that they all look the same, or and you know, it's not just looking the same. If they're all the same height, they all bake at the same at the same time, in the same length of time. So yeah, so you can see now it's like a little bit shorter than my cookie cutter, which is what I'm aiming for. And yeah, so I'm gonna start slicing them out. You can always kind of dip, especially if you're using something that's closed at the top. Because this is open, it's really easy to cut, but if you were to use like a cup like this, it sometimes gets like stuck in there, so just make sure you flour the tool that you're using. And I'm gonna kind of go around the edge so as not to waste, or so to waste as little as possible. And I'm gonna put them right here on this cookie sheet. Some kind of paper, or like one of those silicone mats if you have them or something, is always a good idea when you're baking cookies, biscuits, etc., so they don't stick to your sheet. But I know a lot of people, at least I'm definitely like trying to go outside as little as possible. If I don't have one thing, I'm not like going out just to get it right now. So you can always just like flour, or not flour, sorry, butter or flour your tray so that things don't stick to it, whether it's cookies or biscuits or whatever. So I think I'm gonna get an odd number from this. I'm gonna get 7. And then you can also always like press the scraps together. And the last one, if you do press your scraps together into like one last biscuit, this last one won't be as like perfect, right? Because you're basically like breaking down, like I was talking about how you want to keep all of that flour or all that butter in those big chunks and keep it from getting warm. This now, as I'm like mashing it in front of you, first of all, I'm adding all this flour that was here, so the ratio is different. But then additionally, all of that butter is now sort of like melting or like getting more incorporated. So these are less perfect, but they're definitely still edible. Maybe this is just not the one you want to gram. If you're baking for the gram, which, let's be real, we're baking to eat and to gram in many cases. Okay, so yeah, so we can get another 2 out of this, easy. This one's a little misshapen, but that's okay. Yeah, so got a nice arrangement of 9 biscuits right here. And the last thing you want to do before you put your biscuits in the oven, well, like even kind of before you get to this step, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350. And you're going to bake them first in for 10 minutes. And then you're going to want to probably twist your tray around, because most people's ovens are not even. The ones in the back are going to get, you know, more or less hot depending on how your oven is, the heat is distributed. And then you're going to want to egg wash them, which makes them, it gets them that nice golden brown color that you expect from biscuits. If you don't, they just kind of have this like kind of dull tan brown look. They're not shiny and they're not quite as golden, but they taste the same really. And if you don't have a brush, I've made many biscuits and pie crusts in kitchens where I don't have a brush, and maybe it's a little gross, so I'm going to do it when I'm on my last one, but you can literally just stick your hands right in the egg and just like smush it along, and it's fine. And actually this one is really pretty. You can see right here all of those layers, and that's one of the nice things about using a cutter to cut it instead of just doing like a drop biscuit style, is that when you cut straight down through them, you get to see all those wonderful layers, and they bake up, it rises up really nicely, and all the layers get really flaky and delicious. So yeah, here we go. They are ready to go in the oven. And yeah, I didn't forget anything, so they're ready to go in the oven. Yeah, and like I said, it'll be 10 minutes on one side, flip it around for probably 8 to 15 minutes. I know that's kind of a wide range. But what you're looking for is both a golden brown on the top. That's the easiest to see. But also before you get confident that they're done and pull them out and take a look whether if the bottom is brown too, that means that you've gotten the whole thing is cooked through. And you want it to feel light in your hand. So uncooked dough, whether it's bread or biscuits or anything like that, it feels heavy because of all the water in it. But the water is going to bake off in the oven and turn into steam, and then it gets fluffy, it gets light and airy and tasty, and it feels light in your hand, and that's how you know it's done. And yeah, so here we have some that we baked earlier today, so you can see what they look like when they're done. And yeah, so for example, I think you can actually even see, so this one is one that was made with scraps at the end, so it's not quite as perfect as this other one, but it's still going to be absolutely delicious. You should absolutely not just throw those scraps away. And so you can see this is the part here that had the egg wash, so it's got that really, you can see the color change from where the egg wash was to where it isn't. And it's nice and golden brown on the top. It has some nice browning on the bottom. You can kind of hear that it's hollow, which means that it's done, and it feels really light. So yeah, so I'm going to break this one apart so you can see what it looks like on the inside. It's got all of these layers, right? So that flakes off like that. This one flakes off you can see the ways in which they break apart are it's following patterns of where there were chunks of butter in it. And those are creating those easy breaking points. And it makes it really light and fluffy and tasty. So thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. We can't wait to see you guys again at the next craft fair. It's such a wonderful place to be, to share these baked goods with you, and we miss it so much. I hope you stay safe. I hope you get to bake some things on your own. I hope you get to enjoy some of Christine's wonderful baked goods picked up here at the bakery on 25th Avenue, or maybe delivered. And then, yeah, hope to see you again. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Oh, man. So I guess everyone is equally excited about biscuits and wanting to make them all weekend long. Thanks so much to Kate and Bench Flour Bakers for doing that video.
If you do bake them, tag QCB and Bench Flour.
Yeah, I think that's a great. You have hopefully you have a long holiday weekend, so you can make your biscuits. You can tag us. They look really good. And we're really sad that we don't have them now. Yeah, we'll make them right now. Yeah. So next on the agenda is the Art for Food crew. How's it going?
Hey, doing really well. How are you guys? This is a lot of fun. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for being a part of it. I came across, I don't even know how I came across you guys on Instagram. Maybe you or someone reached out to us, but
yeah, I think I sent you a message.
Oh yeah. Hey, so can you guys first introduce yourselves?
I'm Paul.
And I'm Stephanie.
And you guys are Queens based, right?
Yeah, we're in Long Island City in Dutch Kills.
Cool, awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing with Art for Food?
Yeah, sure. Pretty much started as an idea to help the current relief effort for coronavirus as a way to help without having to actually go out and kind of volunteer and risk, because I have pretty bad asthma, and I was actually dropping off an extra inhaler to one of my buddies out in Long Island. And on the way back, I was in the car and Steffi and I were talking, and we had 30 or plus minutes of silence. Neither of us were really speaking, just for no reason at all other than just not talking. But all of a sudden this idea clicked in my head of maybe I can sell my own art as a way to kind of help this situation along and kind of donate the money from it to an organization that was helping. And Stephanie has been donating to the food bank for New York City for years now, and she was all about the idea and said, hey, you should donate to them. So we started off that first day as one auction, just one piece of glass. I think it might have actually been this crab, this glass crab that I made. So I don't know if you can really see it in there.
Yeah.
So this was the first, maybe the first or second auction piece we did. And in that first day of auctions, I was approached by a person who said, I love what you're doing and I really want to match every donation that you get. So that was really cool because then all of a sudden we had a person willing to match our donations to food bank. And so every donation was doubled, that would mean. So now $1 equals 5 meals with food bank. And once this person came on, that would pretty much mean that $1 is 10 meals with food bank. So it's great. So like a $5 donation is going to be 50 meals for people who need the meals. So that's great. I don't know, Stephanie, do you have anything you want to add about it?
Well, I mean, you started with your own art, but you've expanded to other artists, right?
Yes. Sorry, I'm going. My brain.
That's okay.
Works a million miles an hour. Yes. So like, here's another piece. Unfortunately, I had just mailed out a lot of pieces. We can do a screen share and I could show you some. This is a piece that was just sent. Oh, I'm getting now some reflection. This was a really cool piece by Anjali Menon, who is a Manhattan-based artist. This is a screen print. That was something that was donated. I've had art donated from Oregon, from Iceland, from Canada, from North Carolina, I mean, all over, and a ton of New York artists. We've had a ton of like New York-based graffiti artists who have donated work to us, which has been so cool. And that's gotten a really, really great response from the crowd.
Cool. Yeah. Do you want, I've just turned on a setting, so you should be able to share your screen if you kind of want.
Let me get some things. Here we go. So I have a bunch of things here, and we are at, so far our goal is $25,000, which will be matched to $50,000 donation for food bank. So these are a bunch of pieces that have been sold already. This was art by Eyebrows, with Crew Eyebrows, he's a Queens-based artist.
I don't know if you're sharing your screen just yet.
Oh, I thought you were going to share it. Sorry. I didn't know I had to press the button as well. Here we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
There you go. Perfect.
Got my tech whiz next to me here.
Yeah,
Great.
when you hit the green, yeah, perfect.
Perfect. So
yeah, so why don't you tell us about, are these things that have been sold or still kind of?
Yeah, this is sold. Not all of them have been sold. Oh, can I not go next? There we go. So this one is a Tom Krantz haha piece. He's a Brooklyn-based artist. This one was already sold. We had, this was a really cool one by Victoria Waite artist, as well as Sharpie. Sharpie is a Staten Island artist and Victoria Waite is Texas-based. So the two of them, actually, they both put in 2 pieces. So that's pretty cool. We had this one as well as, this is a glass piece by Sean Kangla. This was a pendant. That's 24 karat gold. It fumed on the inside of that glass, which is pretty cool. Here we have a Queens-based graffiti artist, Token 3784. He goes by It's All Sticky on Instagram. That one's already sold. We have a Paolo Tolentino. This one was already sold as well. So I'm just going to kind of cruise through them. This was a Raddington Falls.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that one was really cool. This one actually was like one of our, well, yeah, this was like a $250 piece that it went for, and it was one of our higher auctions, which is pretty cool. And I think one of the cool things for us has been to see some artists have donated art that they already have made. Other artists have been able to donate stuff that they made specific just for these auctions. And like this piece he made just for this, which I thought was so cool. And actually, you know what's funny about this piece in particular is Wall Street Journal since has used this image in a couple of their articles, and he's right now kind of dealing with some blowback from them not crediting him for the art, but they used it in the articles. I don't know, so kind of interesting, but cool to see where that art is going. Then it all started here. So these are 3 prints by Queens artist Hannah Chavez. This was a Manhattan artist, Janice Everett, already sold. This was Bronx artist, Nadia. This was the second in the Sharpie and Victoria Waite series. Oh, there's the glass crab.
That started it all.
Yeah, you guys probably see it a little better there. This was rabid artwork canvas. This is a Tracy Penn art. She's located in Gowanus, Brooklyn. This was a Vladimir Weinstein. He's a photographer from Manhattan, and this I think was a $300 piece. Oh yeah, this was cool. So Zero Productivity. He's another Brooklyn artist. I think for me, for sure, one of the cool things about this has been getting to meet these artists and people who are willing to trust me to actually, so that's going to be the last of my slideshow I got of art here. So yeah, you don't have to share my screen anymore. How do I do this? Stop share, pause share. There we go. Here I am. So yeah, say that again.
What is like the logistics for someone who wants to bid? Like, can you just like walk through your process?
Sure. So you can find us on Instagram at Art for Food Auction. It's the handle. And I run auctions daily. I usually start the piece at noon and run it till noon the following day. And if you're interested in the piece that's up for auction, all you have to do is comment. You comment your bid in the comment section of the post. And as long as you're outbidding the person who left the number before you, then your bid is good to go. And the following day, once I call the auction, I'll let you know and we'll get you the art, and you will donate your money to our event page on Art for Food Auction at Everyday Hero. It's an Everyday Hero page set up through Food Bank for New York City. It's the link in my bio.
Yeah.
Put it. Links in my bio. And we're still open for artists too. So if you're an artist that wants to donate, you can send me a direct message. And
you ship it out generally.
Yeah, generally I ship the art out. Sorry.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think it's really interesting, similar to what Meghan and the Astoria Mutual Aid is. Just there's like so many people who just like were like, I want to be helpful and figured out different ways to do it, right? It's really amazing because there are organizations that help on some level, but just like this really grassroots effort in the neighborhoods of Queens is really powerful.
For sure. And it really felt like that. It felt like there's got to be something other than just like, oh, everyone sit at home and like that's the most you can do to help is by isolating, and like there has to be something more that we can do to help. And it's for me it was this, and we've already raised $13,000. So that's pretty cool. We just hit that number. I think like yesterday we grew past 13,000, which is unbelievable for me. I mean, I when I started this thought maybe I would sell 5 or 6 pieces of glass, 10 pieces of glass, make a couple thousand, and I'd be pretty happy with it. So this has been the outpouring of love from Queens and from the city has been amazing.
Cool. And that's really beautiful. And since the Queens Craft Brigade does work with a lot of artists, if they wanted to contribute something for the auctions, should they just get a hold of you through the Instagram account?
Yeah, they can just direct message me on Instagram. It's at Art for Food Auction, and we'll take it from there.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for sharing about what you guys are doing. I think it's really important and just like a really unique way to do something for the communities. I'm really excited about it.
Thank you.
So I'm going to mute you, but what I think you should do is post some links in the chat for everyone right now so they could click on it. And then I'm going to play 3 more videos, and then we're going to talk to vendors, talk to anyone who's still around. And
if anybody has questions for anybody who spoke that you thought of later, sorry, if anybody has any more questions for Art for Food or Astoria Mutual Aid, then you can post that now.
Or Bianca. I think Kate, who we watch bake, is on here, who did an amazing job. So we'll just see how it goes after the videos. So.
lifestyle shop with a fresh home decor perspective in Astoria. In Casa offers a unique and distinctive blend of furniture, window treatments, lighting, pillows, and other home accessories and gifts. Our collection of accent pillows are handmade here in Queens. You have the option to shop from our ready-made pillow collection or create your own cozy accent pillow made to your specifications that matches your style and personality. We have a great selection of linen, silk, and velvet fabrics in store. Just select your desired fabric, color, style, and size, or bring your own material to create a one-of-a-kind accent piece. Our strong appreciation for beautiful design, functionality, sustainability, and one-of-a-kind products is reflected in our shop's assortment of handcrafted objects. As with our pillows, our drapes are all made to order in Queens, and we offer measuring and installation services to achieve your desired look. In Casa is proud to be a part of the Astoria community.
Hey everybody, I hope you're enjoying the Queens Craft Brigade variety show. My name's Nick. I'm from Astoria Apiaries, and I'm up here on top of our rooftop bee yard here in Astoria. Just enjoying the bees, enjoying the rest of the day here. But I wanted to let you know, today is actually World Bee Day. May 20th is World Bee Day. And to celebrate, we're doing a giveaway. We're going to be giving away 3 different packs, and I'll go through them real quick. You can enter over on our Instagram. It's real easy. You just like the post, tag a friend, and follow us. That's all you got to do. So real quick, we'll go through and tell you a little bit about the different prizes. The first prize that we're going to talk about today is our line of soaps. These are our beeswax soaps, and you'll get one of each if you are the winner. We have our honey and pollen, we have our honey and oats, and our honey and jasmine. So they're real good. They're made with our own beeswax here in New York City, as well as our own honey here. So they're really great. They lather up nice, and you'll enjoy them if you win them. The next prize up is our infused honeys. You may have tried our cinnamon honey or our hot honey, but if you win this, you'll win them both. So they're really great. The hot honey is liquid, you can see there, and the cinnamon honey is nice and whipped. So it's nice and solid. You can actually spread it. This stuff is dangerous. You got to use it with a spoon and watch yourself. And then finally, if you are the grand prize winner, you'll be getting one of our nice honey pots. Keep your honey on the table. You'll be getting a bar of our honey and jasmine soap, which smells excellent. You'll be getting, of course, our cinnamon honey. And then finally, this is one of our more popular flavors. We're going to give you a whole pound of our blueberry blossom honey. So altogether, this is more than a $50 value for this prize. And then the other two are very valuable too. So if you have any questions, or if you want to purchase any of this stuff and you don't want to try to get in on the giveaway, you can go to our website, AstorApiaries.com. If you do want to get in on the giveaway today, you can go to our Instagram, @AstorApiaries. Again, find the giveaway post. It has all the instructions there. Follow us, like the post, and tag at least one friend. If you want bonus entries, tag more friends. So that's going to be it from us. Thank you guys, and we'll send it back to you, Robert.
I like it being sent back to me as if we're like some legit TV show. That was really cool. Thank you, Nick. All right, I'm going to look for vendors and unmute you. Let's see. Hello, vendors. Domingo, Anna, Paige, Lila Suds. Oh, bench flower double header. Neil. Even Benham from
Chucky.
Whoa. Here. All right. If I didn't if I did not unmute you and you are a vendor, you can unmute yourself. So, oh my goodness. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
This is so exciting to see all of you. I'm gonna lead this a little bit. Domingo, how are you doing?
What's happening, everybody? I'm Domingo. I'm doing okay. Hold up with the kids and wife.
Yeah.
And trying to be a teacher from home.
How's that going?
I mean, I'm not sure if there's any other teachers interested in here, but
It's probably
Are you a music teacher?
No, I teach art, kindergarten through fifth grade.
I saw the guitars in the background. I thought you were a music teacher.
Yeah. But a shout out to all the presenters today. Everybody, it was just wonderful. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
That was really great. Oh my goodness, I'm just seeing everyone. Kate, Baker, somewhere. Oh, hi.
Hey, Christine and I and Joe, we're all here.
Oh, Joe's here too? Oh my God, that was amazing. How did it feel doing a baking video?
It was, I mean, I've never baked on camera before, so you guys got to see that for the first time. So I felt very awkward and I just kept talking and kept baking, but it was more fun than I expected because baking is my favorite thing to do. So yeah, so I thought it's the one, yeah, it was really nice to bake in the bakery. It was the first time that that I've definitely gotten to bake in that space with that beautiful blue wall behind me was the great bakery. We've been packing grocery bags in there for the Lifeline Connected Chef grocery program with many other people I see on here like Benham. And yeah, so, you know, we've been in there for the past few weeks, but I haven't actually baked there. So it was really nice to do that. So thank you for this opportunity.
It was really cool. Christine, how are you guys doing with Bench Flour? Why don't you tell people what you've been doing?
So we've been doing weekend bakes for pickup and delivery, pickup at the bakery space. We're not technically open yet because of COVID and the city shut down, so we weren't able to get our final inspections. But we're still baking out of our commissary kitchen. So we're able to do the weekend bakes for everyone. And it's been like crazy busy and crazy amazing. And we did not expect the response. And we're so thankful for everyone. But yeah.
I have a question. You know, I'm not a retailer, so I'm like always thinking, how's it affecting you? Do you think your costs are going up a lot? Like I've heard people 20% because of all the cleaning they have to do. Like, what are the negative effects in your business has it been?
The negative effects, I would say they're very minimal because we do all the cleaning, we do all the delivering. We don't have extra labor to pay for. So I guess the most taxing thing would be we're a little overworked, but this is our business, so we're happy to do it.
But did you deliver before?
We didn't deliver before. When we first started this, it was sort of like a let's see what happens. And we got maybe 10 orders our first weekend, and then the next we got 80, and then it's 100 plus. So it was a lot of like trial and error as the weeks went by. We're kind of hitting a stride now. Excuse me. Yeah, so that's pretty much
Congratulations to you. And
thank you.
I know it's really hard, and people who buy things really appreciate what you do. Thank you.
I guess another big thing for us is that we want to do more, but the small space that we bake out of doesn't allow that. We don't have the space. And the
Are you doing mail order? You doing mail order?
Mail order like shipping?
Yeah.
No, we're not there yet.
Because I'm on this page because someone recommended it. Anna recommended I go on, but I live in Westchester County. And I'm amazed at this. I'm so grateful to be on here. I'm going to spread the word about what you do because there's so many people who love crafts where I am. And just like you can never get to these people like yourselves. And I'm floored. I'm floored. Thank you so much. I'm Stacy, not Leo. Leo's my son, it says.
Hi, Stacey. Yeah, this is a great community.
All right, I want to go around and say hello to some people. So we have Benham on the line, who formerly Flat Tops. How are you doing, Benham?
I'm doing well. It's so nice to see everybody. Yeah, I mean, I am the same as I think most of us are, good days and bad days. I haven't been working very much. Before this, I was working in public radio. But I have lost most of that work. So mostly I've been gardening, volunteering a few days a week. We're actually going to do Flat Tops in the evenings at Comfortland in June on Friday and Saturday nights. So we'll be doing burgers and fried chicken and slushies and stuff. Yeah. So how are you, Robert?
I'm good. Thank you. Good. It's fun to see everyone.
Yeah, it's so fun.
All right. Remember when I ran into you at that Wilco thing in Massachusetts?
Yes. We were out of the neighborhood.
Last decade.
Yeah. That was June of 200 years ago.
Yeah, that was way before times. I hitchhiked home.
Thanks, Ben. Rachel from Hellgate Farms. Hello.
Good to see you.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I don't personally have a lot of business updates because I've mostly been full time at home taking care of a baby while my husband works full time. So I've been minimally in and out of doing some Hellgate stuff. But in case people didn't know, we have started up our farmers market again in Socrates Park because that is allowed. And yeah, so we've got a wide range of vegetables and all of our hot sauce products. But yeah, I mean, we're missing out on doing all the craft fairs and all the markets that, so that's been kind of a hit for us. We've been, minimally doing some wholesale with grocery stores at least, but all of our restaurant business is kind of on pause. And then we've also been partnering with Kim at the Connected Chef, doing the Lifeline groceries. So we've been contributing a lot of our vegetables to that as well.
Is Hellgate doing mail order deliveries for people?
For our hot sauce, like some of our products, are online on our website. Yeah, not all of them, but a good amount of the bottled products. And then also with, at the market on Saturdays.
Yeah. Cool.
Do you have your seasoned salt?
Not yet.
No. I love it so much.
I'm hoping that I'll get to make it soon. I don't know.
That's fine. The hot sauce is great. I'll just get some hot sauce.
That is on the list of things I'd like to get done soon. But yeah, if anyone knows anyone that needs bulk orders of hot sauce, then hit me up.
Cool. Well, it's very good seeing you. Paige, you were just talking. I'll say hello to you. Hi, Paige of Paige's Candle Co.
Hello.
How's candle business?
It's good. A lot of my online sales have increased exponentially, which is really cool. So I'm happy about that. It's a lot of work, like bench flour. It's a lot. It's a lot.
especially when you're working from home and you don't have outlets of going outside. But I'm grateful and it's cool.
Yeah. We have your whiskey candle
Going right now.
burning right there.
Nice. How do you like it? Does it smell like a bar?
Yeah. We're like drunk off of it.
Yeah. That and the rum and tobacco.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love rum and tobacco. Stay Forever, that was their bestseller for a bit.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Well, I guess as I talk to people, it might be good to put your links in the chat since I kind of want to say hello to everyone. Desiree, hello.
Hi, how are you?
So you were on our last video. What's going on since we spoke?
Well, right now I'm working on my July collection for soaps. So every month I do like the little mini collection and then I have like the permanent stuff. But this week is like production week for me. So it's been interesting because with soap making, you think you have it down and you have like your perfect recipe and every time it completely turns out different. And it's interesting, it's fun, but it's been going really well. I think way back when we started kind of talking, when this whole COVID thing started, we were talking about vendors and how we're gonna kind of navigate this. And I've been so surprised by how supportive the community has been and my customers, and it's been really great and just heartwarming and how everyone's come together.
Yeah.
You sold out of a lot of fragrances.
I did.
I was trying to buy online. I was like, damn it, she's out of this one. And
I sold out sooner than I thought because, you know, again, I wasn't expecting everyone just like going to the shop and just wiping me out. And I have a lot, everything's like on the curing rack, like behind me, like everything's there. But, you know, with soap, you need to let it cure for a certain amount of time. You can't just like make it and put it out. So I'm hoping for June for my next launch. Usually I do like at the beginning of the month. Everything's gonna be back. So yeah, for Mother's Day, I got like completely wiped out in like, I don't know, 4 hours. It was crazy.
Wow. Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
It's really great to hear. Well, thanks, Desiree. All right, Camille, you are not at the wheel.
I am not at the wheel.
Are you able to get to your wheel yet?
I can't get to the wheel because I can't get to Astoria yet. We're still quarantined in Colorado. So we weren't in New York and then like actively chose to come here. We were already here and just never made it back to New York. And so we're still waiting for the city to reopen. So I'm not at or near the wheel. I have had several people reach out about orders and people who have ordered things off of my site, which is pretty empty right now. So there's still been a lot of interest, which has been great, but unfortunately I have not been able to get back to the wheel just yet, but hopefully in the next month or two.
Oh, man, yeah, that's pretty sad.
Yeah, it's you know, it's not like I'm not super happy about it. I mean, I'm fortunate that I have like a full-time job, so we're able to, you know, continue to pay bills and things like that. But as far as my creative outlet and the thing that I love doing, I've not been able to do that for the past couple of months.
Yeah. All right. Well, you'll be welcome with open, socially distant arms when you return to New York.
Thank you. The good news is I have a lot of work that is either finished or just needs to be glazed. So I was working on a restock right before COVID hit, and then so I have a lot of stuff that's very close to being finished, but haven't been able to finish it quite yet.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck in Colorado. It's nice seeing your face.
Thank you. It's nice to see you too.
All right. Anna, hello.
Hi.
Thanks for making that video.
Yeah, thanks for featuring me. This has been really fun. It's been so awesome to see everybody and hear from everyone.
Everything going okay?
Yeah, things are good. It's been nice. I've actually had a little more time to work on my art, so that's been great. But I've gotten really into cooking, so that's been a little distracting. um,
Are you
but
going to make the biscuits?
yeah, that was really inspiring to me. I really want to make the biscuits.
All right. Well, definitely takes, maybe you'll make some art, of the biscuits.
Yeah, you never know. I saw like someone's becoming famous for making toast art, so this could be inspiring.
I saw that too. I saw that too. And I saw this lady making chalk art on streets, and she's having her daughter pose with a whole selection of balloons, holding the balloons in chalk. She was in the New York Times.
Wow. Yeah, it's amazing how creative everyone's getting. I love it. Yeah. And I've been having a lot of fun teaching craft jam classes, which is where we met. So it's really cool.
Cool. All right. Well, good to see you again. Jess, hello.
Hey, how are you?
Thanks for making your video.
You're welcome. I'm hanging out in Flowerland. I got so much new stuff, so I'm excited.
Everything. So how are you still doing your mask deliveries?
Oh yes. The bag of masks that need to be washed tonight to go out tomorrow. So I'm making like around 25 masks per week that go. I live like just north of the public housing in Astoria. So I like got, connected to a person, to another person, to another person, and like got a connection there. So the masks are going to senior citizens there that, need them / like can't be in the world without masks, but they're expensive and they're kind of hard to find ones that aren't disposable right now. So yeah. And I'm going to be selling some. They're going to be added to my website on Friday to begin with. But I'm not doing a ton of like fancy stuff with it. It's just kind of to help offset costs and keep me afloat, because normally I work with dogs for a living, and I can't work with people's dogs right now because of the quarantine.
Yeah.
Like somebody else mentioned, my husband has a lung condition, so I like can't volunteer outside of my home. So, trying to find ways to like stay at home, but help out.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for making that video again.
Yeah, of course.
All right. I feel like I said hello to Domingo early on, but also but we didn't talk about your art, Domingo. Besides being a teacher, are you working on any of your art?
I really am very overwhelmed with homeschooling. I have 2 young children, 9 and 5. And by the time I'm done with my homeschooling with my students, and I'm so pooped, but I have been listening to a lot of music and just kind of fooling around with the guitar a little bit. When I got married 15 years ago, my wife gifted me a guitar as a wedding present, and I didn't know how to play. So just little by little, I would learn just on YouTube, things like that, and sort of put it down for a little while. But I've been sort of just spending my nights just playing guitar a little bit and kind of unwinding that way. A bunch of ideas that I have for paintings and drawings that I'm really excited about. So it's, it stinks what's going on out there, but I try not to let too much of that come in here, because then it's going to affect my world here of Zen. But there's I find there can be pressure, and I don't know if it was a meme or something I saw. It's like, it's okay to not be creative with all this pressure to sort of be creative. You can just kind of let things fall where they may, but just trying to stay positive, and definitely missing the QCB community. I was looking forward to getting together with everybody in May, which was a month for when I scheduled, but It's also nice to everyone still community. So it's great that you're putting these varieties together.
Yeah, well, we definitely miss seeing you, but we'll get together in the future. It'll be very fun and great, and we could talk about Montauk again.
Yeah.
Nick, hello. Happy what is it?
National Bee Day.
Happy National Bee Day.
It's World Bee Day actually today.
World Bee Day.
Yeah, you gotta give it the props that it deserves.
I always like the element of danger in your videos because all the bees are buzzing around. I don't know if that translates when people are watching it, but like there's just bees everywhere where you are.
There are. We probably on my roof right now, I would venture to say there's maybe not quite 500,000 bees up there. Maybe there's like 400,000 bees up there. So it's busy.
Do you rent the roof out?
It's my roof. It's on top of my house. Yeah.
Because
I'm in good with the
other
landlord.
people were coming up to that roof, it might be a problem.
I wish I could bring people out. We actually do hive tours when it's not a pandemic out at Greenwood Cemetery. So I run all the beekeeping program there, and we usually are able to bring people out. We suit them up and go start digging in the hives and get people up close and personal. But unfortunately, right now we're not able to do that so much. But yeah, I don't have a location here in Astoria yet where we can really do that.
All right, well, thanks for making another video, and hopefully some lucky person will win your contest.
Yeah, if you haven't entered, my phone's been blowing up. I've been trying to answer messages and everything during the whole show tonight, but we're doing that. But also during the whole COVID pandemic time, one thing we're trying to do to make it just a little bit more frictionless to get our honey, we have our $5 flat rate shipping. So we don't want it to be such a huge hurdle for people to have to like go and pick it up if they could just get it at their house. So it's just $5. If you buy over $50, we'll ship it for free. And then the other thing we're doing is a 25% discount across all of our honey. So hopefully that is able to help people right now in their wallets mostly. So
cool, awesome.
Yeah.
I think I've said hello to everyone. Is there anyone I missed? Eduardo's from Inacasa is not at his thing. Oh man. Well, I feel like we did it, right? Do you guys feel like we did it?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Cool.
Thank you, Robert.
The second variety show.
That was really engaging on many levels.
So much positivity.
Cool. Well, thanks everyone for watching. We'll get this up on YouTube soon, and we'll figure out what's next. I miss you all.
Miss you, Robert. You're the best.
Thank you, my man.
Seeing everyone.